That's connected to the topic. The other question, are the Salafis split? And amongst, or many claim that the Salafis, that they're Salafi but aren't united with the Salafis. What's that? Okay, I'm not sure what that means. But basically, what we have to understand is there are some things which are very, very clear and very apparent to us, alhamdulillah. Like we know that within the Muslim nation, there are different sects and groups, and they are very apparent and clear, right? Any Muslim knows that if somebody says the companions are all disbelievers and they left Islam, everybody knows this is misguidance, right? The Rafida, the Shia, who say this. We all know this is misguidance. Sufis who worship graves, we know this from our fitrah, this is wrong and this is misguidance. There are some things which are very clear and apparent to the average person, right? Certain sects, certain groups. However, where it becomes confusing, and especially in the modern era, in the contemporary time, where many, many people have realized, hang on, that if we ascribe to the Salaf, it will give us some legitimacy, right? We will, even to be honest with you, even like the Sufis now and other people, they try to make it look as if they are following the way of the Salaf. But the point being that amongst those who claim Salafiyya, there are many who claim Salafiyya, but in reality, if you look at their methodology, if you look at their behavior, if you look at their positions, if you look at their alliances, they cannot be reconciled with the way of the Salaf. And there are many, many people out there in the field giving da'wah online, calling people, taking advantage of the internet, of the tube, trying to call people and draw people into their web, all under the guise of being upon the way of the Salaf.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
So as we were saying that many, many people who make use of the internet, the tube, the social media, and making an ascription to Salafiyya, they try to draw audiences towards themselves. And when we look at them, their positions, their loyalties, their allegiances, the methodology through which they give da'wah, it is very, very clear that they are not upon Salafiyya. For example, a person claims to be Salafi, he goes to another country, for example, and then in all the places he visits, they are the places of the Ikhwanis, places of maybe the Sufis, he sits on their platforms, give da'wah. How can this be reconciled? And there you were there not to call them to Salafiyya, you were there to just teach them things about, marriage and divorce or good manners, or you might even speak about Tawheed, but not in the way where you distinguish clearly between the people of truth and the people of falsehood, right? It's more to expand the audiences, that you want. So we know from a person's da'wah, his conduct, his loyalty, his allegiance, his friendship, whom he visits, all of these things are very, very clear signs to show whether a person is truly following the foundations of the Salafi methodology or not. Anyway, that's one aspect to the question. The other aspect is, yes, the people of the Sunnah, when they see misguidance and they see mistakes in foundations and errors from amongst themselves, they will correct that and they will treat it in accordance with the right way. So from time to time, there may be someone who from among the people of the Sunnah, his heart changes, he deviates, he falls into error, misguidance, he invents new principles, and so he's advised by the scholars and he chooses his path. And so the Salafis abandon him and leave him because he's chosen his path of misguidance. Yes, this happens from time to time. And historically speaking, over the past 20, 30 years, we know many, many individuals making an ascription to Salafiyya, spoken of and refuted by the scholars, such as, for example, Abdurrahman Abdul Khaliq, Adnan Arur, Abul Hasan al-Ma'rabi, and more recently, you have the likes of al-Hajuri, and so on and so forth. So this shows that the people of the Sunnah do not accept error and misguidance, even if it is from someone who is within their ranks and beloved to them, when that person persists upon his mistakes and his errors. Right? So now to an onlooker, someone who's onlooking, they will see this, look at this, they all split. We have this group over here, the Hajuris, and this group over here, this ones and that, and they all. No. That's how you see it from your, from your kind of blinded vision. But we see it as, we do not compromise the truth, and we are not blind followers. And even if one amongst us goes astray and makes a mistake, then it's our duty to clarify that. As opposed to these people won't do that. Right? They won't do that. They won't speak the truth, and they will make mujamal, they will make compromise and flattery of people who make mistakes and errors, whereas we as people of the Sunnah, we don't do that. Right? So sadly, these people who have this like perception towards Salafiyah, then they're not looking at it honestly and truthfully from the point of view of knowledge, and weighing everything by the book and by the Sunnah. And there's a mention here of a couple of individuals. There's a mention here of